Carter was one of those smarty-pants students that knew who and who not to mess with. He was a cover teacher's nightmare and would purposely play up or play the innocent, so they did not know whether they were coming or going. Young new teachers were also a good target for Carter and his mind games, which he more often than not got away with. His new teacher, Miss Ben, came to see me to voice her concerns. "Can I have a word?" she asked as she popped her head around the door. "Sure, grab a seat," I replied and stopped typing. "It's little Carter," she began and started to shudder. She placed his open exercise book on my desk. "Homework last week was a scripted piece of writing using SOPAMs and a minimum of 4 paragraphs. Start reading from paragraph 2, she said. Paragraph 2, okay. He places both of her hands in a tight grip above her head and presses her to the wall using his lips. His other hand grabs her hair and brings her face up, and his lips touch hers. His tongue slowly and softly strokes. Whoa! I stopped suddenly and looked at Miss Ben. Exactly. Carter keeps grinning at me, asking if I've marked it yet, Miss Ben said, agitated. Did he write it? Hell no. He's done this to make me feel uncomfortable, and has certainly succeeded. Are you sure this is not something he's heard or seen? Not unless he's got a subscription to the Fantasy Channel. Read the first line to me again, I requested. What? Just read it. I opened Google and began to type. What are you doing? What would your lecturer do at uni if they thought your work was plagiarised? Check it through Google. Exactly. Read on. Miss Ben reluctantly continued reading, and then I joined in. You're joking! Miss Ben yelled. Nope. I burst into a fit of laughter. That little sod has pulled this text from 50 Shades of Grey. You're joking! Miss Ben was furious. So what are we going to do about it? I grinned. Miss Ben stood in front of her Year 7 English group. Carter was sitting up straight with that smug smile on his face. We're starting with dirt time and your creative writing homework, Miss Ben announced. You have 10 minutes to respond to my feedback. Oh, and Miss Bremmer took one book from this class pack to monitor my marking. So if yours is missing, you need to collect it from her office. Miss Ben gave the exercise books to 2 students to distribute. Carter began to look agitated as the pile began to reduce and he still hadn't got his book. Tonya handed the last book on her pile to Martell, then went back to her seat. Off you go, said Miss Ben. The students began to respond to the marking with their green pens. Carter sat quietly in his seat. Carter? Miss Ben called across the classroom. Why aren't you writing? She asked, knowing full well the answer. I don't have my book, Miss Ben, he said hesitantly. Oh, Miss Bremmer must have picked yours to check my marking in your progress. Go and collect it from her office. Carter froze in his seat. Hurry up, Carter, you're missing dirt time. Miss Ben went up to his desk and shooed him towards the door. I could see Carter hovering outside my office, but not making a move to knock my door. Come in, I shouted, although there was no knock on the door. Carter sheepishly entered. Hello, Carter, I said slowly, without looking up from my desk. Sit down. Carter slowly sat in his seat. I could cut the fear oozing from his paws with a knife. Without looking up, I said, I've left your exercise book with someone in reception. Please can you collect it and come straight back to me? Carter flew out of his seat, relieved to get out of my office. Out of the frying pan, I thought. Yes. I'd left his book in reception with his mother. 3 minutes later, Carter and his mother both entered my office. Thank you for being so patient, Miss Barrett, I said when they both sat down. As I explained earlier, I have 2 concerns. The first, the content of his creative writing homework, which he was set last week. Would you like to read this to your mum, starting from paragraph 2? No, miss, Carter said sharply. He was visibly embarrassed. Why not, Carter? I queried. Because it's a bit naughty, he stuttered. But it's all right, Miss Ben, to read your naughty writing, Carter. No, miss, Carter whispered quietly. I have told your mum that writing like this from a school child is a concern and will have to be referred to our child protection officer, who may inform social services, who may want to investigate you and your family. Mum was silent. I told her when we met earlier how this meeting was going to pan out and that she and Carter would have to have a conversation with our CP officer because of the content of the writing. She was furious with Carter, but kept quiet. Carter then piped up, But it was a joke, miss. You see anyone laughing? I animatedly began looking around the room. No, miss. My second concern is plagiarism, a lazy person's way of completing homework or research. When you cut and paste something from the net or copy something wholesale from a book or document, it's called plagiarism. Like your creative writing homework, Carter, students fail exams for committing plagiarism. It's cheating, Carter. You'll be spending lunchtime all this week with Miss Ben, completing your creative writing homework properly. Understood? Yes, miss, Carter replied. These newbies, I smiled. They can be more than a handful than the older ones. Carter's mum finally spoke. Thank you, Miss Bremmer. She then turned to Carter as she was about to leave the office and whispered, Child, you have social services to thank while you're still in one piece. Because right now, I just want to knock your block off. How'd it go with Mum? Miss Ben queried. Carter came in 10 minutes before the end of the lesson and looked very flushed, hot and bothered. She added, Well, let's put it this way, I stated confidently. Carter's in a whole heap of hot water right now. And that cheeky chappie has every good reason to be hot and very, very bothered. Quatty by trouble, £100 can't pay fee. Little blunders can cause us to find ourselves in situations so complex that we cannot extricate ourselves.